everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed our last episode on legal access with Tim Muse from Empire Title Agency and Kirsten Olson, our marketing rep from Lawyers Title. This episode, we're going to talk about mining claims, and there are a lot of mining claims up here in Yavapai County.
Well, let's back it up a little because Tim's our expert. What is a mining claim?
Okay, well, there's two types of mining claims.
Okay.
There is a patented mining claim.
Okay.
And there's an unpatented mining claim.
Okay.
So the patented mining claim was through the years, went through all the process. Well, everything started as unpatented mining claims. Someone finds a vein of gold, they mark out their claim, they work it, and I don't know the mining laws, but after so long they were able to get a title to that.
Okay.
So once you have title to a mining
Now
claim,
that's the title to
fee title
the
to that claim.
the mineral, the gold, or whatever.
Well, actually, usually, now there's sometimes there's just a mineral patent, but
Okay.
the majority of patents that I've seen in this county was for the whole land.
Okay.
You know, from here to here to here. And then, you know, the right to keep following the vein if it goes outside the perimeters of the claim. But so once you have a patent to a mining claim property, then it's just like a lot in Granville. It's a piece of property you own, it's fee title, you can buy it, sell it, hopefully subdivide it if it meets the zoning requirements. So it's just like any other property that this building sits on. It's once it's patented, it's a regular piece of property.
So I think, back up a little bit more, generally you're not entitled to all that if you just have a regular purchase of some land, is that right?
You mean,
Well, for instance, like surface water, minerals underneath the land?
you mean, are you meaning non-mining claim properties?
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah, many properties in
No,
this
because
county.
why would you do a claim, you know, it's because you want that.
True, because that's how they all originated,
Right.
and that's why most of the mining claims are south of town in the mountain areas. Grim Creek, Walker, Crown King, you know.
You know, Mount Union.
Yeah, exactly. And so even Mare, a lot of Mare is built on mining claims. Some mining claims are plaster claims, and most mining claims in this county are load. Load mining claims is where you're actually tunneling into the ground to get to a vein to extract it. Placer are more like surface minerals. Like that's why a lot of placer claims are along riverbeds and things.
Like Lynx Creek.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lynx Creek, Big Bug Creek. Yeah. So
So question.
yeah.
So on the patent, and this is my limited knowledge of title versus Tim's, let's take a lot like in Granville. That tells you that you do not have the rights to the mining, to the minerals, the oils, or anything else that they find. It usually takes them out. But on a patented mining claim, would I still have those rights?
Usually, unless
Okay.
someone down the line reserved them. And like I say, I don't want to say like maybe Granville wasn't a good example.
Oh,
But,
sorry.
But no, it's cool. I just meant just a regular piece of land. But you know, some of Granville has their minerals, and some of Granville doesn't. Depends on what section you're
Right, how
at.
about
in Granville.
Stone Ridge?
Stone Ridge.
I don't think we have ours.
I don't think you do either. I think they were reserved in the patent. Bless you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they reserved in the patent, but I need to go back and check that because as I get older, my memory kind of.
Well, the only way that I could tell, and maybe somebody who's looking at it, is when you look at the legal description on the deed.
Yeah, if you have
tells
mineral
you
exceptions.
If it's been reserved and it's basically gone, but on a lot of mining claim patents, they're there.
They're there, and unless someone down the line reserved them to themselves when they sold to another owner,
And they can do that.
they can do that. Yeah, so that happens once in a while. Yeah, like let me use an example of Walker.
Yeah.
Most of Walker was owned by the French family, George French and Mary French, I think. But when they did these, they cut up these lots into little plots. And normally when they sold a piece of land, they reserved the minerals. So most of Walker, you don't own your minerals because they were reserved by the French family.
Does that mean that the French family could still go in, since it might be a load mining claim, dig in to follow that vein?
I mean, in theory, but then you have EPA laws
Right.
and county state laws that might prevent that from happening. But of record, you know.
So if I was gonna build a house in Walker, do I need to worry about those EPA laws and everything else because of that mining claim if I don't have those mineral rights?
You know, what I like to tell people is if you live in an area or on a property that you don't own the minerals, there are times where you might have to worry about someone coming in, but normally not, because a lot of city limit, if property's in a city limit, a lot of times most cities don't allow mining within their city limits, or maybe EPA might not allow mining. But this is, so even if you're pretty comfortable that nobody's gonna allow that to happen, say you're digging a swimming pool, a hole for a swimming pool.
In Walker?
Well, no, I mean, you can.
That's gonna be a big hole.
Oh, you might hit a shaft.
Right.
There you go.
It might not be
Hot
that
tub.
hard to dig.
Hot tub.
But no, I mean on any land that has minerals reserved. Say you're digging a trench for a gas line, or
Okay.
a hole for a swimming pool or something, and you find this big gold nugget. Well, if you broadcast that to others, the people or the entities that own the mineral rights could be knocking on your door and say, give me that gold nugget.
Yeah, we're gonna check for some more too. while we're out
So,
there.
you know, just because we think of mining as a big equipment going in there and getting the mine,
Yeah.
and getting the minerals, but you also have to think of, you know, if you actually kind of stumbled on something, it really is not yours, and if someone else finds out about it, they could show up.
Lay claim to it.
Yeah.
Because the early history of Prescott, they literally found gold laying on the ground. I mean, that's part of the reason the cavalry initially came here.
Oh, yeah, okay,
So-
okay, yeah.
Now, can I have one house on just one claim? I mean, if I,
Most claims are about 20 acres.
okay,
Right.
So-
could I have my property be on two different claims?
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of times claims will overlap. So funny you bring that up. Sometimes when you look on the map, you're like, okay, which one is which one? And you have to figure out which one overrides the other one. So sometimes you have to go back to the patent and say, okay, this patent was first, this was second. And a lot of times the patent will say, you know, the so-and-so mining claim, except the part that lies within the conflict of the other mining claim. Not always, but sometimes. But even if they don't, that's how you figure out who owns the conflict, is what was patented first.
Well, my question was, do you need title insurance if you purchase a piece of land that has a mining claim or a mineral claim or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that?
I mean, I'm partial. I would say for any land, but
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah. I mean, between that and the last time, the last session we talked about access, there's a lot of reasons to get title insurance, because not every, it's not like it's going to happen all the time, but there are. I mean, I've been in this 30 plus years, or
There's issues.
because I was here when I started when I was 1. No.
You were just a baby.
As a baby. But, you see stuff happen, you're like, oh, it makes you like, well, good thing they had title insurance.
Now, how does, because we have two listings. We have the Jenny Mac mine listed, and we have the Franklin lode listed.
Okay.
And I think the Franklin is registered with the Geological Survey. In fact, that's how we got some production reports prior to World War II.
Oh, neat.
And
Wow.
so, are all claims registered somewhere else other than with the county?
With the BLM, there's, they do have mineral survey maps.
Oh, okay.
And I have them, plus I can get them online as well. Usually when you see a legal description, you usually see the name of the claim, and you see the name of the mining district, and then usually it refers back to the patent, and then it also gives you the mineral survey number. It's usually
Wow.
a 4-digit
Right.
number.
Yeah.
Because I know our RPR, we were talking about the opportunity zones.
Yes.
So I looked into that, and one of the options is mining claims.
Oh.
You can look at, and that was, yeah, I didn't know it was there before. So-
I had there was an agent that is no longer with us, but he would call me and say, hey, Tim, I need a mineral survey map. And that's kind of before they were available online. And because the reason why he wanted to know is because, and I always wondered why he cared, because most realtors don't really
They
care.
don't really
They
care,
don't, or
no.
they're not to say they care, but
They don't know
they've
what
never,
they
they've
don't know
never
what they
asked.
are, so therefore
But
they
he
don't
was-
There's
understand.
no alignment in the
He
contract.
was very specific about he wanted a copy of that mineral survey map. I said, okay. And finally I asked him one day, I said, you know, what do you do? I know that they're good to have, but they're very old.
Right.
He goes, if I'm walking around on mining claim, I want to know where those shafts are.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I do know, because he's in, I'm walking my people around there, I need to know because they show the shaft locations.
And what was the name of that? 'Cause oh, I
The,
didn't know
the mineral
that.
survey.
The mineral
Oh, mineral
I can
survey.
get you one.
Okay.
You know how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was like, oh, I get it, because you can't always, you know, when you're out in the forest, you don't
No.
always know where a shaft is. I mean, a lot of times you can see it.
Stuff starts growing
Sure,
over it,
yeah.
and I mean, there used to be some out on Iron Springs, and we would.
I went into this mine shaft on a property we had listed in Mayer, and you go in 25 feet, and then it makes a 90-degree turn to the right,
Ooh.
and
Then it's
at
spooky.
that point it is pitch dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you turn your flashlight on, and you look down, and it goes straight down like 4 stories.
Yes, they're
Yeah,
very
and you
dangerous.
drop rocks. I mean, remember dropping rocks down there? It's like, I don't hear it yet.
No, they can be very, very
Yeah,
dangerous.
it'll be years before people find you if you fall in there.
Yes.
So,
So if I bought a piece of land in Walker and it wasn't in a mining district, can I make it a mining district?
How would you mean make it a mining district?
Can I make it, can I create my own now, or is that gone? That's not even an option.
Well, the mining districts have been established already, like back in the 1800s, so it's the Walker Mining District. And the claims have already been patented. Now, like I said, I'm not real familiar with mining law, but I have not seen a new patent on mining claims less than 50 years old.
Yeah, as exactly.
Because I don't know if there's a moratorium on patents or not. You would think you'd
That's a
still
corporation commission bill, isn't it?
you would BLM, your
BLM.
management,
Yeah.
yeah. You would think they would still be doing it, but there's got to be some kind of moratorium or something, or the laws change or something, because I haven't seen one
I haven't
newer
either.
than 50 years old.
But I mean, did you go out like, I'm gonna say out Iron Springs, going towards Kirkland, Congress? You could have, that's a lot of land. I could make my own mining claim.
Well, but there are a lot of unpatented claims all over the place, and because you see them of record, because I think is it once or twice a year they have to record certain notice of assessments, or maybe it's once a
Right.
year, but people still
working
them, and
Yeah.
they still, there's new claims all the time, but I just don't see any patents to those new claims.
Right.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Very
And
good.
if I find that I wanna buy a mining claim,
mhm.
how do I get in touch with you?
You give me a call.
What's your number?
My number is 928-778-5044. Or
Excellent.
my email is tmuse@ewtaz.com.
Thanks, Tim.
You bet.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for being on this episode.
Yeah.
All right, and thanks for tuning in to this episode of Prescott Gallery Poems.